So, what was the most inspiring story have you ever got in physics?
I've got a lot, but the most inspiring story in physics is the discussion about the general relativity. In 1924, there was, so I would say like a conference in Solvay. So at that day, all the greatest physicists all around the world were there, like Albert Einstein, Debye, Heisenberg, Niels Bohr, for instance. There was too many. Marie Curie also was there, and yeah, they were all there. And once discussion started about what is the support of light out of the planet. So we were saying, okay, the gravity itself is something that for many centuries, we haven't been able to explain how things fall down, And Isaac Newton made the first parts with some England's people, definitely. And they said, okay, there is some forces attracting stuff. So it says, okay, maybe there is maybe something that attracts everything down, And they will not be able. So Albert Einstein said, no, I think this is not just something that attracts everything down. It is kind of the formation of the space-time, space, because we are in a planet. Our planet is very heavy, and the sun also is heavy. So, of course, there is some distance between sun and earth, and also between the moon and the earth. But what makes that the sun keeps the same position around the sun for many millions of years is just because as the sun is more heavy than the earth, it makes some deformation of the space-time, and our earth also keeps some motion around the space-time. That's why it doesn't go away. And it was kind of, how can you know this? You are living on the earth. This is crazy. We cannot understand this. And then he said, okay, about the speed of light. I don't think that there is kind of support inside the galaxy that makes light having a certain place to move on, I think there is just a vacuum. And for 200 years, people were saying, okay, there is something, the ether, that permits to light to have a support to fly, like to spread. And they say, no, there is nothing. It's just kind of, how to say this? It's just the vacuum itself. So he explained this, and he also get out in 1905 his theory about relativity. So before the general relativity, he says about the restraint relativity. And this was just the first part of the work he has been working on. And he said, okay, light is the constant, okay? The speed of light is constant. But as the space-time domain gets deformed, okay, it means that at certain place in the space, you can have definitely something that can make lights also not going straight. Wow. And we said, if light is a constant, okay, what is that? And then the concept of black holes also get out, because we were saying, okay, the deformation of the space-time, when the element is really heavy, for instance, two planets or one planet is too heavy, the deformation it makes can also make deviate, like the light's ray can deviate from that point. And the discussion started growing. We were, the scientist at that time was saying, so this guy is so genius. How could you know this? Ben? And you know what? Mm-hmm. They just say that is the theory, right? And in 2014, we detected gravitational wave. Wow. It means he predicted something 1 century before. Wow. And 100 years after, we detected gravitational waves. And it was kind of amazing stuff, because we said, this guy he had a brain. So how could he know this all? And yes, this kind of discussion, I really liked it because it's actually I would say the actual or the current discussion among the physicists about the theory of all, from the theory of everything, because they detected some particles already taking some electromagnetic form and so on, and they want to reunify all the physics in only one theory. They call it the theory of everything, and they are working on it because they haven't found yet the small particle of the gravitation, for instance, because I don't know if it exists. Maybe it exists. We haven't found it yet, but let's see. Maybe in coming years or these decades or centuries, maybe we might find it. But yeah,
Well,
this is
well,
the biggest story. So but there is many story like that, bro. Like
well,
this is
bro, this is really inspiring, man. You've taken my heart, man. I'm really feeling you, bro.
But
This is
the
deep.
the best
Wow.
thing is what?
I love this, man. Thanks a lot. Really, truly, thanks a lot for sharing this, man. This is amazing.